The infotainment system in the 2021 Genesis GV80 and G80 offers a wide array of information, vehicle and safety settings, and multimedia options. To access and utilize these settings and options, Genesis offers several different ways for you and your passengers to interact with your vehicle. Voice commands, a variety of tactile and backlit buttons, toggles, tumblers and dials, dashboard located shortcut buttons, and handwriting capture functionality offer options of how to operate your Genesis. Driving information is displayed in the 12.3-inch 3D center cluster. Infotainment, including navigation and feature controls, are displayed on the audio-video navigation screen, or AVN, the 14.5-inch LCD touchscreen located on the upper dash. On the center console, the multimedia concave controller and back, home, and menu buttons are used to control actions on the AVN. The multimedia controller is multifunctional. The outer dial can be rotated both clockwise and counterclockwise. Rotating the dial is used to scroll through options within a menu screen on the AVN. The outer dial of the multimedia controller can also be pressed at the north, south, east, and west compass points. These actions move the user between related menus on the AVN. Pressing the center of the multimedia controller makes selections and opens submenus equivalent to pressing OK or Enter. The center of the multimedia controller also acts as a writing pad for capturing handwriting entries. The handwriting reading screen will appear on the right-hand side of the AVN when this action is offered. The back, home, and menu buttons on the center console are shortcut buttons when using the multimedia controller. The volume and tuning tumblers above the shortcut buttons are used for radio and media. The volume tumbler can be rolled up and down to increase and decrease volume. Pressing the volume tumbler will turn the radio or media off or on. The tuning tumbler can be rolled up and down to scroll through stations and channels on the AM, FM, and Sirius XM satellite radio bands. Above the climate controls on the center console are also 6 quick access shortcut buttons. Map, navigation, radio, media, and setup all take you directly into the respective function on the AVN. The star button on this panel is another customizable shortcut button. Customization is done through the button touchpad menu in Setup. The AVN itself is a touchscreen, offering the ability to very quickly and directly move between features, menus, and screens using sweeping and pressing motions. Steering wheel audio controls are located on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. Voice command activation and phone buttons are located on the upper controls. The voice command button doubles as voice command for mobile devices tethered to the vehicle via Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. To access this feature, press and hold the voice command button, versus a brief press to activate voice commands for your vehicle. Volume for phone calls, radio, and media playback is controlled by the tumbler located on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. Pressing the tumbler also mutes audio. The toggle on the left-hand side of the steering wheel is used to scroll between radio stations and channels for AM, FM, and Sirius XM satellite radio. When listening to Bluetooth or USB tethered media, the toggle is used to move between song and media selections. The lower controls are customizable buttons. Customization of these buttons is done through the setup screen on the AVN in the button touchpad section. The controls on the right-hand side of the steering wheel serve driving-related functions. The top button scrolls through display options in the center cluster. The lower button with the steering wheel icon activates and deactivates lane follow assist. The centrally located tumbler is multifunctional and is also used to change information displays in the center cluster. With one press, a rolling menu of options appears at the bottom of the center cluster. By rolling the tumbler, options to activate or deactivate the 3D cluster and head-up display, and open the driver assistance settings on the AVN screen on the upper dash are all offered. When the drive info screen is showing in the center cluster, pressing and holding the tumbler will reset the summary. Rolling and pressing the tumbler in this screen also accesses center cluster displays such as attention level, tire pressure, and digital speed. The remaining toggle and buttons on the right-hand side of the steering wheel activate and adjust the Smart Cruise Control settings. Watch the Activating and Adjusting Smart Cruise Control video for more information about this feature. In many screens, the AVN is displayed as a split screen with the furthest right quarter of the screen displaying information from an alternate infotainment function. The content on that quarter of the screen can be changed by either sweeping up or down on the touchscreen, or by using the menu button and scrolling to the bottom of the list for split screen using the multimedia controller. As a further shortcut, instead of scrolling down to split screen by turning the controller dial clockwise, turn the dial counterclockwise and the menu will jump to the bottom of the list to split screen. By selecting split screen, you have the option to directly change the feature in the split screen. Options include your map, audio source, weather, driving information, a compass, or an analog clock. If you are using the navigation or map features, you also have the option to turn the split screen off. To set basic settings for your Genesis, go to Setup and select the General option. Here, basic setup functions such as date, time, units of measurement, and language are all able to be easily set to your preferences and needs. The AVN also offers integrated manuals. A selection of vehicle quick guide topics, a handwriting manual, and a QR code linking to a navigation manual are all offered directly from the AVN. Thanks to Genesis designers, as you use these controls, operating them to maximize your Genesis experience will quickly become intuitive and natural. Enjoy!